Nomad story travel a lot, so we know all too well that choosing the right backpack really matters. In this video, we're sharing our honest, real-world tested review of the backpacks we actually use on our trips. There's no hype, it's just what works for us, on the road, and when we're at sea.
This is my first backpack I bought for traveling and camping and so on. This is a Mystery Ranch 2-day assault pack. I believe it's a 27 liter. I bought this because we were planning a survival activity, and I was recommended that bag in particular by someone in the Canadian Forces, because he said these bags will last you for your life. And I was like, it sounds like a good investment. So I purchased this bag, brought it in the mountain during winter at minus 36 degrees Celsius for 2 nights. Amazing time, amazing experience. And yeah, it did the job. It has the Y zipper, which is one of the main features of this bag. You can unzip it all the way at the bottom, can have access to what's sitting at the bottom without emptying the full bag. So it's super convenient. I've had it for almost 8 years now. Super comfortable. All the back is padded. There's a quick access pouch for my laptop. There's also a pocket for an hydration pack. So yeah, I think I'll never get rid of this bag. And then we'll move to other needs that came up. I started sailing and spending a week on a boat. The 2-day assault pack won't make it. So I needed more space. So I was already in love with Mystery Ranch, so I got another one. This one is the Terraframe 65 liter. It has, I think they call it the overpack, or we'll put it on the screen, the technical term. But basically, you can add more bags between the bag and the frame. And this allows you to just bring more stuff with you if the bag was not big enough. So that's a big plus. Same awesome feature for the Y zipper. Both bags, the 2 Mystery Ranch, have those MOLLE on it, so if ever you don't have enough space, you can just attach additional bags to it and put your stuff on the side without having to purchase, like I had to do, an additional bag. And for comfort, well, these guys are pretty good. I believe it is the civilian model of a backpack made for the military use. I brought it on 2 different trips for sailing, and both times this guy went into the storage cargo in the airplane, and yeah, super good acquisition once again. And then after the 1-week-long sailing trip came the couple 2-week-long sailing trip, and I started stressing again. I was like, I need a bigger bag. But this time I was recommended with OSPREY. So Yawen in our group told me about her backpacking experience with OSPREY and how much she loved those bags. So I started looking into them. I wanted to move a bit away from Mystery Ranch just because I didn't want to have the old collection in my closet. One of the buying factor, stupid, it comes with a shell that you can put all around the bag with a zipper, and it has two handles, and it's just meant to be put into the cargo storage of the airplane. So it protects the bags, protects all the little dangling components. So that kind of secured me. I'm always stressed of, giving something to an airline and then it comes back damaged, and I don't want to have the hassle of all this. Super comfortable bag. It never touched my back. There's big spacing behind. All the frame is adjustable. You can move those. It's meant to be worn by men and women. This is different for Mystery Ranch. I believe maybe they have bags that are like unisex, but this one definitely is. So my wife wore that one too, and it was super comfortable for her compared to my men Terraframe 65 liter. In terms of size, probably bigger than I need. However, I prefer to have it bigger and just strap it in and remove the excess and being able to carry what I need. So we've brought this one in Mallorca this year. It did the job perfectly, super comfortable. I was carrying it with the baby. This is the mama of OSPREY, and now we have the baby. The baby can be attached right on the belly of mama, or you can be in full dad style and carry it in front. So why did I buy it? Because they match, they're the same color, same brand. I really love the components and material of this one. I'm gonna move her aside. So this is the baby. Why did I get it? Because my 2-day assault pack, remember, too big for the carry-on, barely fits under the airplane seat. So, and I couldn't fit my feet next to it last time I flew with this one. So I was like, I need something smaller. So I went from 27 liter to a 15 liter. Maybe I went excessively too small with this one. As a day backpack, it's perfect. You go around the city, you visit, you have room to bring back stuff or food, and it has the hydration pack compartment in the backpack. So easy access to your water as you're walking around under the heat of the sun. And my only complaint about this bag is because of my stuff I carry, is that I bring a drone and a GoPro with me. What happened is I started bringing this equipment with me for filming during my travels, and I cannot take pictures anymore. So having a drone to take other perspective shots and videos, it's amazing. It makes amazing souvenirs, and my GoPro for underwater shots and action shots. The thing is that 15 liter bag, I'm already using 2/3 of the space inside. That leaves me with something to put a few pack of gums in there, or my charging cables for my iPad. But once you get to your room or your boat, you can just ditch them into a closet and just walk around with this backpack. Overall, super comfortable, super convenient, and you have different ways of carrying it, like I showed, like either on your bigger backpack. So those straps basically goes through those 2 hoops, or you carry it directly on your back for when you're trekking around the city or at the beach, or on your belly while you're carrying this one on your back to just balance the weight. So honestly, if I had to recommend something, that pair, or maybe if there's one model that's a bit bigger, like let's say between 20 and 25 liter, maybe 22 actually would be the perfect size. I would definitely recommend those two. So yeah, definitely bringing the pair to my next trip.
Hey guys, all right, this is all I got. I got 3 packs to share with you guys, and I've had these for a very long time. We're gonna start with the biggest one, which is my all-time favorite OSPREY Viva 65 liters. I purchased this one for 3 reasons actually. One is it's actually designed to fit a female body, which is really important. So the hip harness is at the right place, the shoulder straps are at the right place. That was number 1 reason. Number 2 was the weight of this bag. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like under 2 pounds or something like that. It's super light, and so I could really jam it with all of my stuff without having to worry about the bag being the thing that weighs me down. And the 3rd reason is OSPREY has the most amazing warranty. It literally came with a tag, and I remember this so well the day that I bought the bag. The tag actually said, a bear can claw this away from you and it could be ripped to shreds, and if you reach out to OSPREY, they will replace your bag and fix it. Lifetime warranty. For me, that was the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, the sprinkles on top of my cherry, and just like made me buy the bag. So I've had it for 10 years. I've backpacked with it. You can see it's a little bit worn out. The logo's starting to wear out a little bit. It's a little dirty on some corners, but I've loved. The only thing that I wish this bag had is, one, my previous backpack that I had a full zipper. I wish this had it, because yes, it is a little bit annoying sometimes to have to like dig all the way down, but not the end of the world, to be honest, now that I have packing cubes. With the packing cubes, it's easy to just take out cube number 1, number 2, and then get to the bottom, so not the end of the world. I love that it has a separate shoe compartment, so great space for your shoes or anything that just gets dirty and gunky that you want to leave at the bottom. The other thing that I wish it also had, and this is only because I recently saw Jean-Marc's new OSPREY backpack and I'm a little bit jealous, is that his bag actually comes with, I don't know what you would call it, but I guess it's a shell that you can encase your entire Osprey bag in. And I'm a little jealous about that because Osprey's nylon straps, you can't really, you know, tidy it up in any way. You can tie it up to each other and tuck it in, but when it does go into the cargo, I always worry a little bit that it gets tangled up, and I've actually had one of the straps get stuck in the, what is it called, the suitcase rotational thing. It's actually gone stuck on it before where I've had to like really yank on it. So that's probably the only two things. Otherwise, you know what? I've had it for 10 years and it has never ever given me any reason to shop for a new one. It's the perfect size for me. At 65 liters, I've been able to pack everything I've ever needed in there for 2-week trips, if not longer. I think I've had this backpack once when I was on a 5-week trip between like working and going on travels. So love it, guys. And you know, it's not so much about the bag. I'm just a really big Osprey fan. I just happen to have bought the Viva 65. I think they have a newer model now still called the Viva 65. They may have added some features onto it, but really, really fantastic and love it. All right, moving on to my day bag. So I have these two, depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing. So if I'm on a trip that requires me to have a little bit of a carry-on or a bigger bag to just carry around with me during the daytime, I will bring this bag and this bag. But on trips like this time when we went to Mallorca and we weren't spending a whole lot of time on land and I knew that I wasn't gonna go hiking or anything, I really only had my fanny pack. So this bag is a MIL-TEC bag. I bought it in Finland in an army surplus in Finland. And I bought it, one, because I was in Finland and I thought it was really cool to have a Finnish military bag. And two, I love that it has so many different compartments. So it has a full compartment here that I can actually fit a laptop in. It's got a second one that's always been great. And the thing is, this bag expands really big, actually. It expands really big, but when I compress it, it's like really, really slim. So this is usually my carry-on bag. And if I don't need this because I'm going on a trip that doesn't require a whole lot of hiking or just carrying a ton of stuff with me, I just have a sturdy fanny pack, honestly. Like, this is one of many that I have. This one happens to be from LULULEMON, but it's just easy to throw on. I have my passport in there, I have my wallet, whatever. This is like day-to-day stuff, but I always like to have a little, not a purse, something a little bit more practical, but that you can carry a lot of things in. Then I have a little secret. In my Osprey, I carry this stupid thing with me. And there's stuff in there right now, but this thing compresses to a tiny little pouch. And so what I do is I sneak this into my Osprey backpack, and when I really need in a pinch, like I shopped a little too much, I unpack this out and I have an extra carry-on to bring all of the things that I buy with me. So truthfully, 1, 2, and 3, that one's a little bit of a secret. Nobody really knows about it until they need it. But these are my go-tos, and they've been my go-to for almost 10 years.
All right, so this is my backpack collection. As you can see, I'm newly initiated to the backpack world. Basically, I'd say it was this year where I've finally, for the first time in my life, considered perhaps getting a backpack. The reason why I got this one is the SAMSONITE Traveler. The reason that pushed me to get this backpack is that it was around or before the holidays of 2024, the Christmas holidays. They were announcing that a lot of the airlines were going to start charging. So it was no longer going to be free to put in checked baggage. And so I said, you know, I may as well get something that I could travel with and probably, you know, if I can go on smaller trips, bring something a little bit lighter with me. Another thing that drove me to get this bag is just the way that it opens. If there's one thing that I hate the most about traveling is airports, but it's security checks, right? So when you have to scramble, when you're at the X-ray and you're trying to make sure that you've picked every possible thing out of your bag to be able to put it into the trays. Now technology is evolving, but you know, you're still required to sometimes take out all of your medication, your electronics, and everything that you have. And so what I really liked about this bag is that you can just open it up, flip it open, and I can have everything that I need. My meds, if I need to show them, I can have my electronics, I can have everything I need. And it really is basically a suitcase, but smaller. So the advantage of this bag is that, yeah, it's great when you're going away for a couple days. I brought this backpack with me on my trip to Mallorca, and the problem with this backpack is that it's already at its base a little bit heavy. I don't know the weight of it, we'll put it on the screen, but it's already a little bit heavy to begin with, and it gets really full really fast. And so when we went to Mallorca, I ended up overpacking it. I like to bring a set of clothes with me in my carry-on in case the airline loses my baggage. Well, at least I have a full set of clothes. And so that's the reason why I got it, but I found that it got really big, really bulky. And in fact, while I was using the other backpack that I used on my trip, when we paired these two together, it was a disaster. So this one was thicker than this and ended up being, I felt as if it was almost heavier than this backpack. This backpack, remember, I used it in Mallorca. I borrowed it from JM. It doesn't belong to me, and it's definitely made for men. So as I mentioned, what was different, or what I didn't quite like, was obviously it's not made for women's hips and it's not made for women's shoulders. And so these two together, let me just show you the struggle. The struggle is real, you guys. Check this out. Check out, I mean, I have no more room to put anything, and so look at these big ass straps. Look at that. See that? That's not traveling in comfort. And it was bigger and heavier than that. So I was never able to carry both at the same time. So that was what I would say the thing I didn't like the most about this backpack. I recommend it for short little stays. But if you're going on longer stays and you want to maybe bring a set of clothes and you want to travel with another backpack on, I wouldn't necessarily recommend something, and I'd recommend something a little bit smaller like JM's Osprey.
All right, so here we have the first bag I ever acquired, the EBERLESTOCK G4 Operator. I bought this in 2010, give or take a couple months, and at the time I was shopping for a bag that was gonna go hiking and deep woods camping, survival camping, possibly hunting with me. And I wanted one bag that was gonna do it all, that could carry a whole variety of stuff. And I needed a lot of capacity, which is why this bag is 97.5 liters, by far the biggest one here. And it's probably a bit of an overkill in that respect, because you might overpack or pack it wrong, which we'll get into that in a different video, and really not have a good time on your trip or trek, whatever it is you're doing. A couple of fun things. It does have top access into the main compartment, but it also has a zipper access to the main compartment, as you can see here. Tons of pockets, tons of MOLLE attachment in there. The compartment is separated in two right here, but there you can unzip something and make it a really big compartment. I never have, because I like the weight distribution to be pocketed. One slightly different thing about this is you have a rifle scabbard in between you here and the main compartment of the backpack. And you can see at the bottom here, there's a little extension that you can pull out to allow for the barrel to sit down there. I've never really used it. You can use it for hunting, or I guess in certain military scenarios, maybe you would use this to carry but still have your hands free. Mostly it just becomes sort of a trash compartment as I'm moving around and need to quickly stock something in there, but I don't want to unzip and unpack everything. I just kind of stock it in there. Not a big feature necessarily, but it was there when I bought this one. As a quick aside, there is a more normal EBERLESTOCK. I think this is their 3-day pack. Very similar setup. You lose the top access, but you keep the front access. But everything else is roughly the same. Same great frame, great padded design, breathability. These are really fun bags. I've been through all sorts of stuff with that one. They're super, super robust. I'll give them that. Can be a little bit pricey, but then as life went on, I needed something a little bit smaller to carry some stuff, laptops, or if we went on a trip to just have as a carry-on. But I didn't want to have a little wheeled carry-on, which led me to the OAKLEY kitchen sink, which I've enjoyed. It's again a very robust bag, very fun. You have quick laptop access to the side. You got multiple compartments, their own pockets. These are really cool to strap stuff in. There's side pockets and then a little quick access think this feels like it was for a CD player way back in the day. I don't know what's meant to go in there. I usually just keep the stuff that I want to access quickly, like passport or something like that, up here. But the problem I ran into with this one wasn't so much comfort and function, it's that it's just a little bit big. I think it's 32 or 33 liters and fully packed. When you do the little carry-on test with the frame at the airport, these metal attachments here, I'm not sure what they are, tend to snag a little bit. And I was always worried going through that all I needed was some power tripping flight attendant to tell me that my bag was too big for carry-on, and then it would have to go in with the regular luggage, which was not what I had hoped for this one. So I still use it to go to work. I carry my laptop in it and stuff like that, and a few kits, tools, depending on the situation. But it led me to the next purchase, which, by the way, this is still a very good bag. But the next purchase was my most recent one, and those were the orders by way that I acquired them. Is a Mutant 22 by OSPREY. A friend of mine who does some mountaineering told me to acquire this. I asked him because I knew he had done a lot of research in the recent months. He told me to look at this one because it's one of their most robust, but the least amount of frills. So it's a 22-liter backpack. I was surprised I was able to fit a 15-inch Mac inside a neoprene sleeve in here and still have all the room to put in clothing and personal items that you normally take on a carry-on. It's got a lot of little straps to cinch everything in, make sure it doesn't move. It is extra lightweight, very fun for that, probably about a pound when it's empty, barely weighs anything. It's got a water bladder, which I made it a point to get a water bladder for this one because I wanted to use it also as a day pack when we were on trips. I didn't necessarily want to walk around with the big EBERLESTOCK. So this one, if we're just walking through town, I can pack a bit of water, some suntan lotion, you know, basic incidentals, and have a really nice light carry-on. And a very budget-friendly one, I have to say this. At 22 liters, I think it's probably the second smallest in our lineup today, and I think it's a very cool size to work with for a carry-on. You do have to be cautious what you're going to pack, though.